To remember, we begin with a gathering, not just of friends and family, but of allies, and yes, enemies to some but not to all. The party, hearts heavy with what lay ahead, prepared to journey to the unpredictable homeland of Varys, the Feywild, a place of wonder, beauty, and ever-changing danger. Before they left, they sought a moment of peace. Traveling south to the Shademount Cathedral Empire, a towering kingdom of man shrouded in shadow, ever threatened by the demonic war raging in the southern deserts of Cumoy. Here stood a school of arcane brilliance, and into its halls they brought Helena, a mysterious, emotionless girl they found wrapped in darkness. This gift of opportunity was their hope for her salvation. With hearts steadied, they returned to their new home, a once military outpost, now their stronghold, and began their journey into the Feywild.
The Feywild was like a dream with teeth. Magic, mood, and madness reigned supreme. And the one unbreakable rule: never speak your true name. Varys's return home was anything but welcoming. Her outpost and home at the Feywild's edge had fallen to darkness. Her companion and party member Maxwell was taken by darkness and shadow. And before they could catch their breath, they were captured, bound and gagged by the Eladrin of the Four Seasons. The charge: abandoning her post. But corruption had seeped deep into the Feywild. Their captors were attacked, forcing the party to flee across wild, untamed magic. They stumbled into a Pixis party, entrancing, dangerous, and all-consuming, only to be rescued by a mysterious woman named Cleora, who guided them to the Autumn settlement. But not before Aspen had fallen susceptible to charm and gave his true name. A reunion followed, brief, bittersweet. Varys's father welcomed her with joy, but the happiness was short-lived. Assassins struck, driving poison into his veins and framing the party for the crime.
Dragged to prison, they faced a choice: escape and be forever hunted, or trust in Lily, Maxwell's familiar, to bring justice. They waited. Lily returned, briefcase in hand, heart full of fire, and won them 1 month to clear their names. The court agreed. And so, the party traveled north, deep into the icy realms of the Winter Court. There, they uncovered the truth: a hag had taken the queen's place, poisoning the realm from within. The impostor was slain, the true queen awakened, grateful, and granted them safe passage, and her seal to prove their innocence. Even Day, Varys's estranged brother and once accuser, began to see her again. He requested their aid in the Weeping Forest, where an antidote to their father's poison might grow. But that forest was home to a sorrowful, ancient archfey. They agreed, nearly dying for it. Ahmed, the party's cleric, struck a desperate deal. In exchange for their lives, they would never speak of what transpired there again, but the cost was dear. In the first strike of battle, Lily was destroyed.
Shattered, but victorious, they returned with the cure. Varys's father was saved. And for the first time, the Feywild considered joining the Material Plane's war against the demons. Their return home brought a message. William, once apprenticed to the Great Summer Star, had been trapped in a place called Extinction for 3 years, reaching out with magic that no one answered, until now. The party set out for Alnevia, elven lands in the north. There, a madman whispered of an undead city beneath the world. Ignoring the warnings, they found it. Extinction was unlike anything they had seen, a city of the undead living ordinary lives as their flesh rotted from their bones. The living, called smoothskins, were rare and watched. At Denner's Den, a strange tavern in the city, they met Terry Denner, a vampire with charm and mystery, and Lorena, a regal vampire woman escorted by Aspen's past. A vampire who had once nearly turned Aspen's brother. Emotions boiled. But they held back, for Terry's sake. Searching for William, they climbed into a hidden alcove above the city, where a strange mist descended like the first snow of winter. There, their appearances changed, visions of their potential selves, crowned, cursed, radiant, or burned. They found him. William, tired, broken, withered in soul, sat at a table beside a golden casket, surrounded by potions breathing white mist into the streets below. And then, the Lich appeared. Amaravix, the humanity devourer. He told them that Extinction was his prison, and the 8, like William, were now bound to him. They had 2 choices. Destroy his phylactery, killing him and the city, including Maxwell and Lennis, who had already been claimed by the Lich's power. Or release him and go free.
They argued. Maxwell, ever the would-be hero, chose destruction. The phylactery shattered. The city fell silent. Maxwell was gone. So too was Lennis. Only Terry's distant, inhuman scream echoed from below. But they had been tricked. By divine insight, they learned the truth. Amaravix was not destroyed. He was released. And the city still lived, twisted in his wake.
And now, the dream ends. The spell fades. They awaken, still within Amaravix's grip, his dream still lingering. But the story is not over. It has only just begun again. Will you be there to see what comes next? Join us every Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as the Tale of Tales of Althea continues. The silence is over. Held beneath time and shadow, waiting for the moment when it could return. Welcome back to Tales of Althea. This is the long-awaited chronicle of forgotten paths and lost episodes of a party that once stood at the edge of legend. We're proud to announce the return of this campaign. And yes, the missing parts. Blame the Dungeon Master. He knows what he did. But now, we return to the tale.
To remember, we begin with a gathering, not just of friends and
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of 20 Sides of Failure. Thank you for joining us on this apparently going to be a very cold start to a week for like 90% of the people in the United States. So hopefully we will be all here next week happy and sound. But before that, we got to figure out who we're going to be happy and sound with. And I'm talking super fast, but I don't care. But first up, we are going to go ahead and get all the layers out of the way. We're going to start off with Mom, our Eladrin Ranger.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending on those time zones. My name is XBay, and today I will be playing Varus Blessfell. My quote today I've actually found from, because if you need advice, you go to the source, and the source is Sun Tzu. Pretend inferiority and encourage his arrogance.
I like it. Very nice, very nice. Let's go hit the opposite corner to our other elf, our elven sorcerer.
Guys, my name is Mythic, and I am the voice of Arabella Avalon, and I'm the Draconic Princess Sorceress, and my quote for the day is by Walt Disney himself, and it says, "I only hope that we never lose sight of one thing, that it was all started by a mouse." End quote.
Very nice. Let's move to the right. We're gonna go to our elven ranger.
It would help if my mic would unmute. Hello, I'm Naren, and I will be doing Fiora, our elf ranger. My quote is from the book Immortal. Hope possessed a magic of its own, rare to manifest, yet wrestling miracles from within one's reach.
I like it. Let's go up to our tiefling fighter.
Hello, everybody. It is your friendly neighborhood Ness here, and I play our tiefling fighter Barbar Aspen Lacuna. And my quote today is by Mariah Hornbacher. It is, "I did not like to be touched, but it was a strange dislike. I did not like to be touched because I craved it too much. I wanted to be held very tightly so I would not break."
Very nice. Let's go to our human warlock.
Hello, it's me, Dusky P. I'll be playing the one, the only, Maxwell Belmont. And my quote for today is a little fitting for Maxwell. It comes from Apollo 13. Houston, we have a problem.
I mean, you're not wrong. So.
I love that for you.
All right. The last but not least, we have our human cleric.
Everybody, I'm English Ray. I played a human cleric, Ahmed Serona. And my quote today comes from a writer that I'm going to butcher their surname, Maggie Stiffvater. I'd found heaven and grabbed it as tightly as I could, but it was unraveling, an insubstantial thread sliding between my fingers too fine to hold.
I like it. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to ascertain something. I'm going to ignore that for right now. Okay. Very nice, very nice. Sorry, I got distracted by something. I was trying to take care of it. Hello, everybody. I am Mr. Sorrow. Make sure there's a Mr. in there. I will be your dungeon master for today. My quote, I actually have their name. It's from Franz Kafka, if I say that correctly. I can't think of any greater happiness than to be with you all the time, without interruption, endlessly. Even though I feel that here in this world there is no undisturbed place for our love, neither in the village nor anywhere else, and I dream of a grave, deep and narrow, where we could clasp each other in arms as with clamps, and I would hide my face in you, and you would hide your face in me, and nobody would ever see us anymore.
I know that quote, and I give you props. That is great. I love it.
Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Let me just fix something real quick. Okay. Just going to. Okay. We're just going to do this. Sorry, everybody. I'm just trying to make sure things are taken care of on the backside of some things they should be taken care of now. Alrighty. So, would somebody, while I help take care of things, give a quick little background to last session? If not, that's fine too.
So it was an emotional roller coaster for a few of us. Some of us were very upset and some of us were very sad. And some of us felt like shit, and then some of us were whittling something for our boyfriend slash fiance slash I don't know what to fucking call you. And then silliness happened and Aspen bit Lennis and Bella shot him and made him fall asleep, and everyone was like, yeah, Aspen's bite is venomous, and he's like, bitch, what? And we're like, yeah, let's go look at a dead body. And we basically searched the assassin and got a bunch of information. Listened to Ascending Stone and everything. And we all planned to use the scroll of Speak with Dead and find out more information, and we got some information. It was very vague, but we did. And we formulated a plan that we're gonna have Maxwell pretend to be the assassin and go to the dead drop location where they're meeting somebody. We don't know who, but apparently Lord Marion needs their assassin back, and we kind of killed him, so we're gonna try to get some information, and if this goes all poorly, we'll just kill him and it'll be fine.
Yes, my group of heroic party members. I like it.
Hey, I mean, it's a shady organization. We'll be fine.
That does bring up a good question that I have for the party. What information are we trying to get out of this? Like a location or...
I guess that's more... Go ahead.
Presumably, it's like a little bit more information on like why the experiments are being done, like what's the purpose, and like possibly the location, but not to seem too like sus about it, and also try to figure out where the fuck Anwen is. At least that was my understanding of it, but if anybody else has any ideas.
Alright, well, we are going to go ahead and start where we left off in that, my good compatriots, is with Ermid and Lennis heading outside. Well, Lennis left first, then Ermid went after them. So give me a moment to get it set, and I shall begin. So, there we go. Okay. Where's that? There it is. Right. Airman, as you walk outside, rain drums steadily through the canopy above, each drop catching the leaves before spilling down in soft, uneven rhythms. The great tree that holds Poppy's home groans faintly with the wind, its vast trunk darkened by rain, bark slick and shiny in the occasional flash of thunder and lightning. Thunder rolls low and distant, echoing through the forest like something vast turning in its sleep. Beneath the treehouse, the world feels smaller. The roots rise like sheltering ribs around you, their twisted forms offering a little protection from the rain, but enough to make this place feel held. Lantern light spills weakly from above, blurred by the falling water, faintly painting everything in muted gold and shadow. The air smells of wet earth, moss, and old wood. Cold rain soaks cloaks and hair like seeping in slowly, patiently. Nothing rushing, no one speaking. Lettuce looks to the sky. Rain tracing the edges of his armor and his face. His cloak heavy at his shoulders. His jaw is set, not in anger, but in restraint. Every breath he takes looks deliberate, as though he's steadying something inside him, before it might break. Another low rumble of thunder passes overhead, and in the quiet that follows, the rain falling and the tree looming, the night pressing close, he finally speaks. Airman, before you say anything, he kind of holds up a hand. I need to be selfish for a moment. I need to get this off my chest first. I need to know you're going to be alright when I'm gone. Seeing you like this, your spirit so heavy, your movement unsure, it frightens me more than any blade ever could. You're the strongest person I have ever known. All those years we trained in the elements, you never wavered, not once. You stood tall when others would falter. You were always there for everyone, especially me. I shouldn't have spoken to you the way I did up there. I know you're struggling. I know you're trying. I know you're hurting, and I would sooner face 10,000 swords, die 1,000 times over, than to watch you carry this weight alone. I can't take it from you. In moments like this, I feel useless. That I can't give back what you once gave me. So yes, I know this is selfish. But I need to know that you'll stand, that you'll fight. That you won't stop until you reach the place I see you when I close my eyes. I dream of you in white robes, the elements gathered around you, not as weapons, but as something whole again. You leading them, not in defiance, but in harmony. It's the only dream I have that isn't a nightmare. I'm not asking you to be unafraid, as he puts his hands on your shoulders, or unbroken, or anything other than what you are right now. I just need to know that you will never quit, that you will never surrender who you are, that no matter how dark the road becomes, you will remain my high priestess, my Arabic Serona, my home. And he just pulls you and embraces you.
She would hold him back, probably just as tight as he's holding her, if not a bit more. Okay, so this conversation is going differently than I thought it was going to.
Yeah, well, this I had to be a little selfish to go first. I didn't know how you were gonna go, but I just needed to say it. I just needed to say it, and I mean it, every word.
I thought you were walking away. And I can't have that again. I can't keep seeing people walk away.
I know. This is why I need to know you're going to be okay, because you know I'm not always going to be here.
No, I know. I'll be fine. I'll always be fine. It's just been a lot.
Just kind of nods his head at that. As you two just stare at each other as the rain beats down onto your head, soaking your cloak and clothing and hair. A slight glint of gold from the lanterns above.
You're not walking away.
Not until I'm forced. And even then, I'm not walking away, I'm being pulled. But I will always... And he kind of... In his own way, you know, he's kind of rough around the edges. He kind of holds a fist and kind of presses against your heart and goes, I will always be right there.
He places a hand over his fist. I know.
always return home. Now, let's get you upstairs. You're soaking. You're gonna catch a cold.
No, I just want to stay here for a few more minutes.
Just kind of nods his head at you, like understanding. The time goes by slowly. Cool breeze. The world around you continue moving with the flow of time. But at this moment, right here, it's yours. No one else's. A memory that is frozen in time and can be recalled upon at any moment when hope is needed.
Can you promise me one thing?
And that is
Day being my golden boy.
I can do that.
Yeah, we should get inside. It's freezing.
Yeah, people start getting worried, and then I'm not. Yeah, so he just kind of puts his arm like around you, begins to kind of like guide you up. So with that, is there anything people wish to do before this night comes to an end?
Just as they're walking up and before they go back in, she'll just take his hand and give it a squeeze. You don't have to say it back, but I love you.
There's a smile on his face and kind of gives you a nod, squeezes your hand back, but nothing, no words come out.
I think at some point during the evening, as people are settling down, Iris will just go over to Maxwell and just not doing anything in particular, but just starts rubbing his shoulders. You feel how tense he is.
Right now, very tense.
Figured as much. There isn't really any words. She knows that no matter what she says in this moment, it's not going to help him feel less anxious. So it's that physical reassurance of, I'm here, and I'm here for you.
I'm worried, Varys.
Is there a particular part that I I might be able to help you with?
I don't think so. It's just a mixture of things right now. I want to get Anwen back, if we can, or at least find out where she went.
I think that should be your focus. In the sense of, while not being so overt about it, trying to find out where they might have taken her. Worst comes to worst, we just storm this noble's castle that was mentioned, but I have a feeling that she's not just in some aristocrat's basement.
Much easier if she was.
Wouldn't it all?
How are you holding up?
I don't really have the proper words for how I'm feeling right now. I think it's safe to say that I'm in a bit of a weird in-between state. Wasn't really finished mourning Anwen to begin with, and now that she's still alive, I have to temper the hope that she will be okay. But I'll be alright. Compared to most of the people in this room, she just kind of does a very quick look around. I'd say that I am the least of this party's worries.
All goes well. We'll have her back with us.
Well, if all goes well, you, my dear, will be your usual charismatic self and be able to pretend to be someone that you're not. It's long enough for us to get an inkling of what's going on.
Just hope for the best then. I wish I knew this person a bit more in life. Would help out a good bit.
Well, there are things that you can take from his fighting style. He took to the shadows, picked targets strategically, made sure that the majority of the fight, no one saw him. And when things got desperate, he was still strategic, calm, level-headed. Gives you at least enough of a baseline to work from.
I think it's a good way to start, I guess.
It's not something that you need to iron out tonight. And she'll reach up and just start like playing with the curls that frame his face. Well, worst comes to worst, I would have an arrow trained into the middle of that man's forehead. If they try to do anything to you, you will not be on your own.
One thing that I've thought of, though, is what happens if they want to take me somewhere else? And it's not just going to be a conversation happening there, it's more of, okay, we met up and now we go to the next place.
Then we'll follow. Admittedly at a distance, and you'll have to trust that we're still there, but we'll be behind you. I guess worst comes to worst, you've always got Bella. Get you out of a tight scrape if needs be.
It's fair.
Think of that. Varys will get up on her tiptoes and just place like a small kiss on the tip of Maxwell's nose. Have a little faith. You will do brilliantly. And if you don't, and there's no need to have the pressure on yourself, you will be fine.
Not on my track record, it's either going to end great or terribly.
And we'll prepare for both. I will prepare for both. As she, like, what was a playful smile, it drops as she becomes a little bit more serious.
I think you should need to prepare for both, though.
Think of that, there's like a cock of the eyebrow and like a little bit of a, it's a sarcastic smirk as she just takes a very quick glance around like the rest of the room as she goes, "Do you see anyone else?"
Anyone else for what?
Pairing. People seem to either be in the middle of their own emotional turmoil, biting their fingernails, or trying to figure out whether we should yell at each other. You can see the cogs kind of turning in her head. She just makes eye contact with Max and goes, I got tricked once in the last few days because of my own hubris. I'm not going to let it happen again.
Hold on.
Sorry, Dee, what was that last bit?
I was gonna continue. Can I ask you one question?
Of course.
What is, I want to say, your belief or faith in this group? Between everything we've already been through and what we know we still have to do. Do you believe we could do it?
She's probably silent for a couple of seconds too long for Maxwell's liking. Like, you can see her having to think about her answer. But eventually she does nod her head. I don't think our issues as a group are of our skills. I think as a party we are incredibly skilled. I think for us all it's a mental game.
You didn't answer the question, though. Do you think we could?
I do. I think we have the ability to. I have faith in very few people in this world. I mean, the members of this group just happen to be some of them.
A small chuckle from Max. Some? Not all of them? Or at least all of the group?
She picks up on her own slip. And eyes go wide as they're like, oh damn. I said that out loud. I'm not going to continue while people can hear me. And she just dropped like she dropped it. She's like, I will have this conversation with you, but not while other people can hear me.
Later on at night, everybody huddles around and was like, Mom doesn't trust one of us.
Well then. It is just a mental game. Then I need to make sure that by the end, or before the end, of all of this, you could say with confidence that everyone here you can believe in.
But I know a brilliant place to start. And again, with a coy smile, she'll get up on her tiptoes and kiss Max again, but instead of it being on the tip of the nose, it's actually like on the lips this time.
I think I caught what you last said.
Essentially, she gets up on her tiptoes and kisses Max, saying, I know a good place to start.
And where would that be?
You, my dear, I have absolute faith in.
Can turn his head a little bit, try to look over to wherever Aspen might be.
Yeah, so as you look over at Aspen, you notice that he is, like, shifting from one foot to the other, looking very pointedly, like, at the floor just before where Max and Varys are talking. His tail is kind of, like, swishing a bit low to the ground. He looks like he's waiting, but he's not saying anything and not, like, looking at anybody.
So we'll beckon Aspen over. We're gonna have to work on your people skills.
Aspen will kind of, like, I don't want to say stride because that's not the right word, but he kind of, like, walks over and his hands are kind of like, he's, like, fiddling with his fingers. And he definitely looks a little bit on edge, but he just gives Max a little bit of a, like, wry smile. I was actually going to, ask if you wanted some lessons on, how to be the assassin.
Without even thinking about it, Varys would wrap an arm around Aspen's shoulders, like pulling him into a side hug.
He will start a little at first, but he will kind of just melt into Varys's side. She can definitely feel how tense he is. And he's very specifically, like, pressed up against her in a way where his back is out of her reach, if that makes any sense.
offering lessons, I'd be more than happy to take them.
Aspen kind of just gives him like a firm nod. I, myself am not exactly the stealthiest of people, but I have been around a lot of them. And I know some of their quirks and mannerisms from observing them. He just kind of trails off a little bit.
And while there's a little difference between the urban and the rural, I can definitely give you lessons on moving through the underbrush.
Hey. We're getting cram sessions.
You
I would have
3
avoided
days.
this.
Oh, sorry.
3 days. Not a lot of time. I feel like I got a lot to learn.
It's less of memorization and more putting pieces together and making them flow more naturally. And you're usually pretty good at that. He kind of just gives Max a little bit of a little quirk in the corner of his lip. Even if you don't exactly convince them 100%, if anything goes wrong, we'll just kill them, and nobody will know. And then we can search their pockets, and then see if I think Ermid had speak with dead, if I recall correctly. We can just do the same thing, and get more information that way.
Ideally like to kill as little people as we need to.
Granted, killing less people would make things less suspicious, but these are not good people. Don't feel bad for them. Don't pity them. They're doing this on purpose, and they are hurting people. Save your care for people who actually need it.
See Maxwell thinking those words, kind of chewing on his one cheek about it. I wanted to get real into it, wouldn't they be the people who would need the care the most?
Aspen kind of tilts his head a little bit. A little furrow between his brow.
I mean, granted they might have done some terrible things, but you can always turn their lives around.
I think covering up human trafficking and exploitation and experimentation is a little bit too far to come back from, in my opinion.
I'm also assuming they all know this is happening.
Aspen will kind of just shrug a little bit. It's a little hard to do with Varys's arm kind of like wrapped around his shoulder, but he does it. I'm not usually one to ask questions about that. Morality is whatever you want it to be. But I know you have, what is the phrase? Your heart on your sleeve? You care a lot about people, sometimes when they don't deserve it. So I don't think you and I will ever see eye to eye on that, but I think I understand where you're coming from. People will always be horrible, no matter where you go. There's always going to be somebody exploiting somebody else for their own gains, or hurting people just because it makes them feel better. And just because they have a sad backstory, or they had a point in their life where they reached the lowest low, does not excuse those actions. And they should get what's coming to them.
Agree to that. Just a different method of what's coming to them, if applicable.
Aspen kind of just gives Max this kind of unreadable look. It's a little bit of confusion, but he's kind of just looking at Max like he's trying to pick his brain.
Want to get a little bit more into the nitty-gritty of things. It's pretty much just asking where the line is drawn. If we're going with people who just murdered or anything like that, I mean, we've all killed people. Mainly out of self-defense, not gonna lie on that one, but we've broken laws.
I would say, as Max is talking, Aspen's face kind of just sets. And it's his famous poker face, trying not to show any emotion. He's putting up a very thick wall. And Varys would be able to feel his shoulders kind of roll a little bit. It's uncomfortable. And he tenses a little bit.
I think feeling the shoulder roll, Varys would be there like she just starts tracing a pattern into the opposite shoulder. So like arm is around you and then on the far shoulder. Like you can just feel her, like drawing soothing little doodles and squiggles. Like it's nothing. Like there's no art there, but at the very least, it's like, oh, it's a little bit of like just trying to do some grounding.
It's more to soothe than anything else.
Yeah.
Aspen kind of pushes his tongue against the front of his teeth for a second. And definitely leans more into Varys. His tail kind of like very gently coiling up her ankle. I can't speak for anybody else. And I don't want to. But I've done things I'm not proud of. Things that have hurt other people. Things that I had to do to make sure that I was safe. And that Mavis and Kestrel were all right. Even if it meant that I would take the blame. I didn't care about anybody else, as long as they were safe. So I'm not sure if I'm the best person to talk about right and wrong with. Morality. Drawing the line. He kind of air quotes with one hand. As long as the people I care about are safe. And as long as nobody innocent gets in harm's way, I don't really care.
Hold on again. And that's how you're at, Aspen.
Aspen kind of like shuffles his feet a little bit. He's ever since he's been in poppies, he's taken his shoes off. So his bare feet kind of shuffle and press into the wood of the floor. And he looks down and away from Max. I'd do anything to make sure that everybody was safe. That everyone was alright. And I'm not ashamed of the lengths that I would go to save one of you. And I'm not ashamed of the lives that I would take to save Anwen.
I'm not wanting to put shame on you. I'm actually quite proud of you of having that conviction. We just don't know what we're actually getting into.
Knowledge is power, or so they say. That's why we're taking this a little bit more cautiously. And this is why you're getting lessons on how to be a real spy. Aspen will kind of give a little bit of a smirk.
The lessons start, Teach?
He'll just kind of like look up at Varys, and just kind of like, tomorrow morning after some breakfast, maybe? Do we want to start physical first, or do we want to do more observation?
As a dancer, think of it as picking up choreography. We'll get as physical as soon as possible.
Alrighty. Tomorrow morning.
Varys would feel Aspen's stance shift a little bit, where his shoulders kind of slump, and he kind of puts it so his body is pressed up against Varys, and just ducks his head a little bit, just kind of a little embarrassed. Would it bother you both if I kept a bit more close tonight for sleep?
Think you would both see Varys's face just kind of melt, and immediately this like soft, nurturing, maternal side comes out as she bundles Aspen up into her arms. Like, it's no longer a side hug, like it's just a full-on like bringing into the chest hug, while playing with the hair at the back of his head. She was just saying, "Of course, darling. Of course."
You're always welcome.
I just, I didn't want to encroach on your space. He says it as a little bit of a question, but as soon as Varys kind of pulls him into that hug, she can definitely feel his hands kind of like curl around into her clothes, and his hands are shaking just a little bit. Not super noticeable, but it's not enough for her to actually like feel it. And he just kind of like buries his face into her shoulder I'll just very quietly murmur, I can't imagine what Anwen is going through right now. And it just brings up some bad memories.
Okay. Anything else people wish to do this night? Then with that, each of you find your nestled nook, corner, couch, bed, whatever you wish to find that night as sleep takes you. The rolling thunder, the trickling rain rolls you to sleep. When sleep takes you, whether you dream, rest, toss, or turn, it does claim each and every one of you. As you all wake up, morning does come softly. Sunlight filters through the canopy in warm, dappled patterns, catching on silk threads and leaves alike, just like every morning. The forest is awake in the simple way it always is. Birds calling, branches creaking gently in the breeze, the world continuing without urgency. The fire is already lit again, its heat low and steady. Poppy moves about the hearth, setting aside empty bowls and rinsing cups, her emotions unhurried and familiar. There's a small smile on her face as she noticed each of you stirring and waking up. Is there anything you wish to do this morning? All right.
Well, it would be just get on with this training for Maxwell, and then also letting Emmett, Lennis, Arabella, like basically bringing everyone in on the plan, being like, whatever skills you think will be helpful to Max, get him in now, because we've got 3 days.
Keep in mind it's about a 2-day travel from here.
Yeah, so we're learning on the road.
That's fine. I'm making you aware. Like you're going to be getting there pretty much on that 3rd day because that first day you took. Well, yesterday was like one of those days. So just be advised. That's all. As you're preparing to like kind of gathering things, Poppy kind of notices everybody's movement and things moving forward. And she goes, "I assume you'll be leaving soon, then."
Yes. Thank you so much for all of your hospitality and letting us stay in your home. It was very kind of you, and we greatly appreciate it.
I was happy to do so. Before each of you go, She kind of brushes her hands on her apron, gestures towards a bundle resting near one of the tables. There are a few things I'd rather you didn't walk with into the world without. She kind of walks over and she kneels and unwraps the bundle, revealing links of finely woven silk, tools worked with quiet care, and a coil of material lighter than it seems to have any right to be. These are weaver folk makes. They're meant to help travelers who don't always get the luxury of safe paths. She shifts. Wow, can't I cough? I was dying.
Please don't die.
I'll choose to die if I want to, thank you. I am God. She lifts each head when she speaks, offering them. Weaver folk climbing filament, silk thread that gleams faintly in the light. A weaver's mending needle, slender, polished, balanced perfectly between her fingers. And weaver's load silk, folded compactly, yet clearly capable of bearing far more weight than it appears. They're not meant to make you stronger per se, just harder to lose things. So, if people would like to know, Weaver's load silk, a wide silk harness woven in redistributing weight with remarkable efficiency. The effect, when worn, the wearer counts as one size larger for carrying capacity. Note, this effect cannot be doubled if the wearer already has this effect. The Weaver's mending needle, a smooth, flexible needle with a silk-wrapped grip. Effect: 1 per long rest. Repair torn or damaged mundane gear such as straps, packs, ropes, nets, or clothing, or anything of that. Weaver folk climbing filament, thin, near invisible silk line on a compact spool. Effect: functions as 60 foot of rope. Automatically anchors to natural surfaces and can be reeled back into its spool.
Hell yeah. Okay.
Simple items. She kind of bundles it all back together and places it in front of you. I hope you can find us some use for them.
This is incredible. Thank you. I didn't expect gifts. I don't really have anything to give in return. I think that you would use.
She holds up her hands. I give these things as gifts with no thoughts of return. Where are you headed? If I am permitted to have that information.
Yeah, Aspen will kind of like raise an eyebrow and look at everybody like we're good to tell her, right?
Well,
Anybody?
essentially we're heading to Olnevia.
But we're gonna go past too.
Mm-hmm.
It's where most people head. Oh, yes.
Oh, continue. I'll say it after.
Most people are, one way or another, when they're in this area. It's a very old city. Older than its walls, older than the crowns that sit above it. The city remembers things even then, even when people pretend not to. There are those there who keep stories and those who keep records. Sometimes they're the same folk, and sometimes they don't agree on what should be remembered. She kind of pauses and thinks for a moment. If you hear voices talking about memory, grief, or helping you remember who you were, listen carefully, then decide whether you want their help.
Arabella will nod. Poppy, I just want to thank you for all the meals. I myself am the only vegetarian in the group, and sometimes it's not easy getting food without any meat in it and worrying about it, or even getting quite the fill of it either. So I appreciate your kindness, and I do humbly apologize for my reaction when we first met. It just shows that you really cannot judge a book by its cover.
There's a smile that kind of crosses her small face as you say that. Well, I appreciate us being able to take the opportunity to learn from each other, and that we could have grown together.
Of course.
Is there anything I can do for any of you before the time comes for you to leave?
Just look out for yourself. Keep yourself safe. The people that were here before talked about you. They knew you by name, so just keep an eye out. And if you need help, just let us know.
A smile kind of crosses her face, and I appreciate the concern. I have quite deep roots here. I will keep my ears and eyes open, but I'm not ready to uplift them just yet. Also, just another piece. If you decide to go to the coast first, you'll find Lithwin Haven. It's a port just southwest of Olnevia. Stone docks, tall ledges, and people smile while they count what you're worth, so be careful. Things pass through there quietly. Goods, names, can be people among other goods. In case you decide to take a different route. But whatever path you do take, don't rush. Places like Olnevia reward patience. And if you ever are back in this direction, I will have dinner waiting for all of you.
Aspen gives her a small but very genuine smile and gives her a nod. We appreciate that more than you know, and we will absolutely keep our eyes and ears peeled down at the docks if we do go there. Thank you.
May you be safe on your journeys.
May you be safe in your house. Aspen kind of just like, he didn't know what to add at the end, and it's a little bit awkward, but he still gives her a smile.
Arabella's gonna go over to Poppy and just give her a couple of gold pieces.
As you try to hand them to her, there's a smile. She kind of reaches out and folds your hand back. She goes, "Your company was more value to me than any stone or. But thank you for the thought."
She'll just smile, nod, and put them back. But before Arabella will leave, she'll just kind of like hide them so that she will find them later on.
Easy enough to do. Is there anything else people wish to do before heading back out on the road? Okay.
We should probably we should distribute the stuff that Poppy gave us to people who it best suits before we actually leave. Just in case, you never know when you'll need it.
You tell me who wants what?
I mean, I have opinions on where I think, like, each thing best suits each person, but that's just me.
Well, you have travel time. You guys can start discussing it.
So I think Maxwell should get the needles. Because, I mean, he's the most fabulous one here, obviously. If his clothes get ripped, he needs a way to repair them. I think Airmed should take the harness because she's almost at carrying capacity. And the other one, probably either Varys or myself. Because I go into high places a lot, but I usually climb it, so having a way to, like, be able to descend, I forget what the actual word for it is.
Repel?
Yeah, repel, thank you.
No worries.
To rappel down a surface a lot faster and have it, like, in place would be good, but I can also see Varys using it.
Varys would, like, quite happily tell you to take it if you want it.
I also don't really know much about Fiora or, like, what her fighting style is yet, so I can't really say much for her, but...
Go on.
If anything would suit her, speak up.
No, I was just going to say totally fair that none of it would really suit her, at least as far as I'm aware, so carry on.
I didn't generate these items towards anybody. I'm like, oh, these are cute little items. That might screw me over later on in game, like all of them do.
I mean, that's the law.
Sure. So, I'll ask now, who is getting the Weaver's Load Soak?
I think that one should be Airmed, but...
Going once. Going twice. Yeah, it's in Airmed's inventory. Alright. Weaver's Mending Needle. Last time I heard it was Max, so going once. Going twice. It's in Max's inventory. The Climbing Filament. I heard 2 people. Going once. Going twice. Yes.
Ellie said that Varys... My words. Help. My brain. It stopped. I could have it. Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Yeah, Varys is quite happy to let other people have it. Like, she's quite happy to hand that off.
Alrighty. It should be in everybody's inventory. If you don't have it, tell me now. I think most of them will be in the loot category, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Equipment.
Or equipment, there you go. So, for the day one as you leave. The forest thins as you move away from the paths you know. Trees still standing tall, but their spacing widens, roots giving way, packed earth and old stone, half swallowed by moss. The sounds change first, fewer birds, more wind through leaves, the steady rhythm of boots on ground. It feels like crossing a line no one bothered to mark. The road is old, but not abandoned, not forgotten. Broken markers lean on odd angles, their carvings worn smooth by time and rain. Someone once traveled through here. Not anymore. On midday, the light turns soft and filtered, catching on drifting pollen and dust. You pass the remains of a camp long gone. A cold fire rings, scraps of cloth, nothing worth taking. Whoever stayed here didn't plan to linger. As the evening comes, the forest closes back in just enough to offer shelter. The air cools quickly, the fire crackles low, shadows stretching farther than they should. No one disturbs you, but sleep comes possibly lightly to some. Is there anything you guys wish to do that first day?
I would say around the campfire, Aspen is going to basically teach Maxwell how to fake, like, being that guy TM.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, like, for time's sake, pull Maxwell aside and basically be like, confidence is the key. You own this entire plot of land. Like, you gotta fucking believe that you work there. You gotta make it look like that you're hot shit. Most of the time, rogues and assassins and stuff like that are usually very quiet and standoffish, especially if they're part of shady organizations. So very clipped responses, but very polite, a little bit gruff, and very much like keeping distance, being shady, all of that jazz. It's all about like the fucking power stance, you know, making sure that you scan around the area, looking at all your exits and entrances, you know, making it look like you're covering all of your edges, making sure that you have escape plan after escape plan, blah 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 blah, shit like that.
Okay. So you and Max will be doing that. Is there anything else people are doing? Okay. Everybody does get a long rest. Some got it sooner than others. Day 2. Morning breaks gray and quiet. There's a sense unspoken but shared that the forest here has almost carved itself around, almost like a funnel to guide along this path. A fallen tree here, a shallow ravine there, nudging your path without ever blocking it outright. The forest grows denser again, greener, almost overgrown with intent. Vines hang lower, moss thickens underfoot. The air smells damp, alive, and faintly sweet, like crushed leaves and rain-soaked bark. You find signs of passage now. Boot prints not quite old, a snapped branch bent and left that way on purpose. Someone came through, possibly recently, but didn't bother to really hide anything. Let's see, so you were leaving that day. This will be... By afternoon, the ground slopes downward, the trees part enough to a field. And you can see in the distance different openings, and you assume that you're not far off, though night is coming. Let me ask you this. Are you pushing on, or do you guys want to camp far enough away to where it's like an hour or two left? Because Varys, you have a general idea. Either going to get there while it's dark at nighttime, or you can wake up the next morning like an hour or two away and press in during the daylight. Don't all answer at once.
I mean, in my opinion, getting there first is probably the best idea, so we can assess the area and set up a vantage point where we can all see where everything is and make sure that Max and whoever he's meeting with is in, like, all of our sites, and we have basically, like, a formation planned out. But that's just, my opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree. I kind of wanted Arabella to, like, not be seen, but also, like you said, to, like, kind of, like, stay around and be there should things go south, and she can, like, you know, cast a spell if need be.
Laz will speak up. What if they're there first and they're camping out that night before, too?
We can just pretend that we're travelers and that we're just setting up camp and gonna stay there because we got there late. Just shrugs. Just play it off as much as you possibly can. Try not to draw too much attention.
Les shrugs. He said his piece. He said his concern. Is that the plan? Are you guys all going? Or are you ending it here?
Just to clarify one thing. We're having Maxwell kind of, like, pose as an assassin rogue, and he's going to talk to Mr. Fancy Pants over there, or right?
He's probably gonna send, like, one of his dudes, so I don't think we're gonna actually meet Lord Marion.
Okay. In that case, Arabella will kind of, like, during the time that they're still traveling, Arabella will kind of, like, pull Maxwell aside and kind of list off some terms to really, like, negotiate and, like, kind of, like, teach him the fine politics of it all.
Easy enough to do. So, is the consensus is you guys are going, you're going to push through the night and try to get a lay of the land at night? Or is that what you guys are doing? Lots of silence.
Some more voices from the peanut gallery would be nice.
I see the pro in getting there, like, first, if we are first, because that way then we're able to, like you say, scope around kind of thing. The issue is that if they're already there, then we're kind of fucked and we don't have that advantage, but then we also don't want to go in not knowing the lay of the land, so...
I mean, the stealthy people can always sneak in the morning, go ahead of time, just be a little late, fashionably, right? He looks over to Arabella. That's the thing you guys do, right? Alright, I'll just go fuck myself. Never mind.
Wait, can you repeat that? I'm sorry, I got distracted. Can you repeat what you said?
That was just like, we could send people in, scope it out first, and just be late, fashionably late. That's what you guys do, is that right? And they just, nothing, because alright, I'll just go fuck myself then.
Arabella's gonna look at him and go, well, it really depends on how we want this business to go. You can be fashionably late, although some people prefer to be very punctual, I think, when it comes to...
Assassins. Killing people.
Yeah, I think when it comes to assassins, and she's just going to kind of look over at Aspen while she talks to kind of get confirmation from him to just kind of be like, they are punctual people, I presume. They want to get in, get out, and do their business, right?
I was just gonna look to Aspen like, what?
Yeah, Aspen kind of just like blink, blink, blink. Well, see, I don't know how to quite answer that, but he just kind of like scratches the back of his neck like awkwardly, like, oh boy, this is a conversation I didn't expect to be a part of. Most of the time when you're meeting somebody for information, at least how I usually did it, was either you get there first or you get there a little after, so that you can make it look more natural, especially if you're out in the open. So he kind of just like shrugs. I agree with being a little bit later, and if they ask questions, Max can just say that he had to take a different route to keep himself more stealthy, as to not draw attention to himself.
That sounds good.
Yeah. Arabella will nod and kind of looks over at Max and just kind of asks him, how do you feel about this still? Do you think you'll well prepared? Do you need more time?
Don't think we have the option for more time.
No, probably not. Listen, I will say though, on the off chance this noble appears, on the off chance, he probably won't, but if he does, you need to talk a big game. You need to know. You basically have to talk money. Like you own everything, you know everything, you're inside, you're outside, that you know it all. But I believe in you, you got this.
I wasn't even thinking that they might be showing, let alone now. Now that thought's in there.
On the off chance, it's not. A lot of times when it comes to nobles showing, appearing, they usually don't. They usually have someone to go and do it for them. However, some really get into their roles seriously and they go to really be a part of that business.
You said he
It's-
rarely
it's-
leaves on Nevia, though.
He is elusive. He doesn't show up quite often. However, with that being said, with this thing or for whatever it is possible that he wants to make sure that everything goes according to plan. He wants the strings to go in the direction he wants them to.
Maxwell just starts profusely sweating.
Just act like you know everything that's happening. Just you're inflappable. You got this. Just straight face, pretend like you're the coolest person to ever walk the earth. You'll be fine.
Basically, Maxwell, you gotta go into this like this isn't your first time. Like you've done this a million times before. That you've gotten all the information, you've been around the world, you know the vocabulary. Make the deals, get the information required, and all that other stuff.
No pressure, bud. Just smacks you across the back.
Sounds like a lot of pressure.
Nah, you'll be great. Better you than me.
Are we sure we don't want Lennis to go? Like, he's already perfect for this job.
He starts walking away.
You're going to do just fine. Even if it's not perfect, we'll still get information one way or the other. And if we need to, we'll be right there. You're not going to be by yourself. And just try not to get stabbed before we get there. And, you know, don't be afraid, because Aspen just kind of like vaguely gestures to everybody, like, I'm pretty sure all of us against this one guy is going to be fine.
Pretty sure.
If we really need to, we can just knock him out and then torture him for information and pray that he doesn't have a cyanide pill in his mouth.
Well, that got dark.
Aspen just shrugs.
If he does, I've got diamonds.
It's
What was
even
that?
darker.
They said if he does have a cyanide pill, I have diamonds. I'll just bring him back.
Just need to pump his stomach, if I'm correct. Just gotta make him throw up.
Okay. Let's just kind of starts walking. Alright, I'm gonna set up camp then. It sounds like we're doing this tomorrow. Nope.
What did he say? Did he say something wrong? Or is he just like... just looks to Airmed like... with a cocked head, just like...
It's the fact that we're talking about killing somebody and potentially bring them back to torture them to get information.
I don't see... Huh. Esther kind of just trails off a little bit. I guess
don't
some
worry
people
about it.
just have weak stomachs.
Not weak. You hear calling from... Just... some fucked up shit.
Doesn't help if I say needs must.
So, like... he knows that we had, like... a necromancer in the bag, right? Just kind of whispers to Airmed, like...
I think
knows that
so.
that man died, like, over and over and over again, right?
I think that's something he chooses to gloss over.
Okay, I won't mention it.
Alright, so...
Oh,
continue.
do we want to try and hunt something to cook for dinner?
Don't we have rations?
Kind of wanted to cook something because it's Almond's birthday today.
It's whose birthday? Sorry, Ray, you're really quiet. I have you, like, all the way up, too.
Oh, sorry. Hang on. Is that a bit better now?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, sorry. Kind of wanted to cook something seeing as it's Almond's birthday today.
Yeah. Aspen's ears kind of lower a little bit. I mean, sure. I'm not the best, but I could get something.
Varys? I think you're on mute.
If they're awake.
I was about to say they might have fallen asleep again.
Oh, bless them.
Yeah, I think they fell asleep.
Oh.
Easy. It's easy enough. I'm gonna say between Varys and Aspen, it's not too rough. You're able to find something. We'll say like in probably this part you could probably catch a couple rabbits, squirrels. If you really push out further, you could get a deer.
Aramid, what are you looking for?
Would you be a deer?
Fine. Just because it's for Anwen.
Alrighty. Well then, instead of an hour, it takes you probably 3 because of the darkness and just trying to be quiet and things of that nature. You're able to scrounge up some venison.
Before Aspen heads on out for that, I was going to see if I could get that ring of disguise self off of Aspen.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So I could get that attuned to now versus later.
I thought you already had it. That's my bad.
Just want to make sure that was noted down.
And you've got the sketch that Aramid made of Zane, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Okay. Is there anything else people wish to do this day before pressing on in the morning to check out the area?
Tell Anwen that we're gonna get her out of there. I mean, she can't hear me, but...
I can cast sending. Yeah, I will cast sending then.
Who are you sending it to?
Anwen.
Okay. What do you say?
Don't give up. We're coming for you. Any information would be great. But we're here.
Let me double check one thing.
Sorry I didn't that for you.
You do not get response.
The message went through, I just didn't get a response.
Aspen's face kind of sets into a very hard frown.
She could be asleep. It is late.
He kind of just gives Aramid a nod. But his mind is elsewhere. Just kind of like staring into the fire a little bit.
Do you want me to scry?
If you would like to do that, you can.
Yep. Okay. Yep, we'll scry.
Okay. Okay. Give me a moment. I gotta double check something on that. Okay. Let me double check. Okay. You cast it. Your vision begins to blur and black as you begin to feel your body move as it begins to take you. And it's cut short, and you blink your eyes back open, and you are back where you are. Scrying failed.
Okay. That's... I'm gonna go with odd. I'm not gonna try and panic. Didn't work.
Yeah. Aspen kind of just slowly looks at Airmed and he just kind of blinks for a second. Is it supposed to work like that?
I can either try to scry a person, or I can try to scry a place. I tried to scry Anwen. Didn't work. I can try to scry the place that I saw, but...
So if it didn't work, does that mean she's knocked out? Because how else are you supposed to see if you know?
Did you... Just asking, did you bear in mind the modifiers?
I did. I'm not going to say more because I don't want to give anything away.
Okay. The fact that I can't just see her means that either she is unconscious or she doesn't want me to see.
Roll me an intelligence check, Airman.
It's an 11.
Oh. Your thoughts right now, like it's all you're coming up with, but it doesn't feel right.
Can somebody block the scry? Like, what if they caught on last time? Like somebody was like, I sense magic in the air or whatever. Can they block it?
They could. The issue is that it creates like an invisible sensor, and if somebody can see it, then it will it kind of looks like a luminous orb, about the size of the fist. And obviously that place was kind of dark, and all the lighting was green, so they wouldn't have mistaken it for one of their own lights. So there is the potential that somebody could have seen it last time and is now warded against that.
Aspen's knee is kind of just bouncing. And he has his hands like on like underneath his chin, just trying to keep a flat expression on his face. He nods. That's probably the most logical answer, especially if it does produce light. They probably figured out we were trying to find out where she was, and they probably just put up anti-magic wards or whatever the fuck they're called.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for, which is why I'm trying not to panic.
And if they know that we're looking for her, they might have moved her. If they have another location. Which I hope they don't. But, you know, CD operations usually have plan A through plan K for if things go wrong. We'll figure it out. We're gonna find her. And if we need to, we can always ask William if he has any ideas. Because, you know, wizard, big brain, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or we could ask Miss Hart if she has any ideas.
Or I could ask the Ant-Cat, and I could try again, but I don't think he's gonna help.
Anything's worth a try. Even if he doesn't answer, you still tried.
Alright, divine intervention, I guess, then.
Blind GM roll. And that's where we're going to end today's session.
Wait, really?
Yep.
You're kidding.
Yep. I was trying to figure out, these people have fallen asleep. We're about to get into a counter, possibly not encounter. We got this divine intervention roll. I'm gonna call it right. I can't call. Somebody's not gonna be here. Oh,
We just take a break next week. It's all right.
you bastard! You're not even here.
We'll just do a beach episode.
Yeah, we do a little time skip beforehand of like traveling. Who stops at like a lake or something like that. It has a cursed doll in it for some odd reason.
No more cursed fucking dolls.
I am taking a screenshot of the roll so it won't be forgotten. Divine. That way people can't say bullshit. And yeah, it's a little it's that like little borderline of stuff that could happen. So I think I am gonna cut it right there.
I fully understand that because like you said that like point and moment in the story, it's like, okay, if we continue just a little bit, we can't just end there.
Yeah, we're gonna go late, and we already lost one of the members too. So,
Again.
yeah, I am
Poor
going.
eggs.
I'm going. It's not a big deal. I'm not blaming them for it, but we're in a weird spot. For like, okay, we're so
If we continue, we're going to be going very late, which I can't
Yeah.
do very late. I have to get up in the morning.
yeah, and then I just found out I got to go out in negative 15-degree weather right now. So
Oh,
yeah,
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
Well, have a good night, chat.
I'm pretty
we
sure
will
it's
see you in a
negative
couple of weeks.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's negative 11 right now. Every hour it's going down a degree.
Oof.
we'll see you in 2 weeks, chat. Stay warm.
We might do
We
got
something next week.
Florida.
We might not. I will stab you. I don't
60
know.
to 70 degree weather.
Well,
Well,
Maxwell's
this
dead.
is gonna be in
Please don't
nice
kill my
hot
dad.
weather, and I'm very jealous.
Maxwell's dead. Divine intervention will never work again. Anwen's dead. Everybody's dead.
No.
Question.
What did I do?
I now have an
Nothing.
honest question for the DM.
No. What?
If you're so Aramid believes in Dienket and all that jazz, and that's where the
Sure.
divine dimension goes. And what happens if somebody slighted that god so much, where that god's just like, fuck this person?
Out of spite.
But then they use divine intervention to be like, hey, can we resurrect this person? God's just like, don't like them, but my favorite priestess asked me to.
Well, if they bring him back, I can just kill him again.
That is
and then
actually
it'll be fine.
hilarious. That is actually
Here's the
hilarious.
funniest thing. Dianka actually has 2 kids, and one of those kids' names is actually called Emid, which is
That's
who she is named after. And she is literally the one who's responsible for like healing and all that jazz. So if her dad dies, just up you get.
The more
Listen.
you know.
We know you want to get rid of us, but it's our job to make sure that it's really, really hard for you to kill us off.
I don't think
Indefinitely.
that's written anywhere, but thank you for that information. But I don't believe that's written.
As
But
long as we have a priestess, it's hard.
I was
oh,
gonna say mythics, rocks fall, everybody dies is a saying for a reason.
mhm.
Shut up! Be
Or,
positive.
if we're wanting to go with a bit more, canon option, Denner decided to say, time's up.
Yeah.
Please
But-
don't.
Well,
With that, thank you, Chet, for joining us today. We might do something. Yep, it's time to end. We might do something next week. We might not. We might be here in 2 weeks. Regardless, if you would check out our YouTube channel, we greatly appreciate. But with that, I bid you all adieu and have a lovely night. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Good night.
Ah, hello.
Because your boyfriend's a bitch.